Welcome back to the channel, where lens meets truth and every moment highlights public rights, accountability, and real-world transparency. Today's scene is brought to you by the original uploader, link below, so be sure to show them some support. Stick around till the end, and hit subscribe for more raw encounters, sharp reactions, and in-depth legal analysis.
Hey, what's up here, guys? Got a bit of activity going on in Blackpool, flashing blue lights and everything. So looks like we've got a full setup, really, doesn't it? So yeah, it's so guys, we're in Blackpool and seeing all the feds situation.
The scene opens with heavy police visibility, lights, units, and a full setup suggesting a potentially serious call-out. Even at this early stage, the response feels disproportionate to what appears to be a calm environment. This is where questions about resource allocation and necessities start to arise. When public filming begins, it reinforces the right to document such police activity in plain view. As the camera moves through the area, more officers and vehicles come into frame, showing just how many resources have been dispatched. The sheer scale hints at either miscommunication or an internal assumption of risk. When officers cluster like this, it often signals heightened tension but not always justified by the scene. Transparency becomes crucial when responses look larger than the situation demands.
So guys, in Blackpool in a minute, just reacting to a live situation with the feds outside the Yateses, and activity seems to have gone behind, and everything seems to be looking towards the sun in at the minute. So we're going to stay active around the area and get a bit of footage.
The filmer observes the police shifting their attention behind a building, indicating the situation is fluid but unclear. This type of ambiguity often leads to public confusion, especially when officers don't communicate what's going on. Filming becomes a tool to bridge that information gap. Legally, remaining in a public space and recording is entirely within rights.
And basically see what's going on. Because they come here in emergency. Look at that there. He's here.
Take us to walking centre, mate.
More units arrive, signaling continued escalation rather than de-escalation. At moments like this, the public begins to question whether this is about safety or about demonstrating authority. When emergency responses intensify without visible threat, it can border on performative policing. The scene reflects that tension clearly.
I think we need to get our backs checked out. Yeah. Is it taking a bit? No? You alright? Yeah, you? Oh, yes. Tuesday night.
So yeah, not much to see really. It's obviously been some kind of emergency. Well, we're always better off sitting tight and seeing what's going on, guys.
Even as the filmer waits, officers seem scattered and unsure, suggesting the main event already happened or never happened at all. Large responses with little visible outcome fuel concerns about proportionality. This is where terms like reasonable deployment and operational necessity come into question. The camera's presence helps maintain accountability.
Squad heavy.
Now the narrative shifts as the filmer hints at a heavy squad presence. When officers gather in groups like this, it usually indicates preparation for potential detentions or dispersal. But without clear justification, it risks coming across as intimidation. This is precisely why public documentation matters. It creates a real-time record.
I'm going to call this video Observations of a Cowboy. Real observations of a cowboy. A cowboy has landed in Blackpool and he's only had a few pints. So yeah, he's saying they really are ready tonight, aren't they, guys?
Commentary mentions someone described as a cowboy, suggesting perhaps an intoxicated or disruptive individual. Police responses to drunk behavior often hinge on judgment calls, and judgment can vary widely between officers. Over-escalation is a known issue at nightlife hotspots. Filming ensures the encounter is later reviewable.
So we do have a victim.
Yeah, we're not. So you head back. Yeah.
As talk of a victim emerges, the context becomes slightly clearer, though still vague. Heavy police presence around a single altercation may raise concerns about proportionality. Crowd control tactics sometimes lead to over-policing small incidents. Again, documentation becomes a check against excessive force or unnecessary arrest.
And if you watch anything from where I had 2 drinks in there, you have 2 drinks in there, sat outside on the front benches, and if you find anything of us, then fair enough, but go for it.
We've had a complaint that your group has caught the sun in.
Kicked off. They left there.
You lot have been giving verbals to them before. Alright.
Well, like I said, if you want to...
I have taken some details from you, alright? Just to warn you about your behaviour before the game,
You
alright?
don't need to warn me, and I'm saying to you, if you want to check the stuff in there, that's perfectly fine. But we sat outside, I can tell you, we sat next to each other on a bench. Outside there, I had 2 drinks, you had 2 drinks. In there, and if you want to check anything in there...
Watch the footage and slow time inquiry. For the time being, the lads over there told us your group just come in, hence why we just come over now. So the footage will be slow time inquiry, we can do that. Yeah, we've been more reasonable.
Nothing to
We're
do
getting
with you and
details.
Tom.
We've been advised to warn.
The scene remains calm, yet units continue to hover, positioning themselves tactically. This type of posture usually reflects readiness rather than active threat. Legally, unless officers have reasonable suspicion, they cannot interfere with a bystander recording. The filmer maintains distance and remains fully within their rights.
But why is it like 1 million police against us 2? I don't understand your point.
You've got another 10 people in the back, haven't you? You're saying you're not associated to him, but we believe that you are.
That's fine then. Okay. Like I said, check whatever.
Let's do us outside.
Check CCTV. I don't know what you have out there, but thank you.
What happened in here? Were there fires? No trace.
Apparently it's kicked off. Bingham said it's kicked off in there, but as far as I'm aware. So if you...
Something's gone on in there.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright?
My good feeling is that you two wouldn't need anything to do with it. There's other people in there.
Well, it's fine then.
Probably would. Right. But everyone's near from business who's spoken to them. Everyone's from here. That's what we're doing. We go back in there.
Thomas, thank you very much.
Honestly, I know you're a guy. You're always right.
Never have a problem. Got 2 days off work for this fucking day out.
You don't get called for nothing.
You might want to go early. The machine's broke. To get to go to manually. Massive queue. It might take them a while to queue's massive. The machine's broke.
For a 30-minute tram to Chef Wednesday as well. Last time we were there, wasn't it? Because the trams weren't running every time. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, just get your drink back, can't you? But just let me know. I won't go on a minute because you might go out of it.
Thank you.
It's 7:15.
Here, tension surfaces briefly as behavior and officer perception become talking points. Misinterpretation is a major factor in street policing, and misunderstandings can rapidly escalate situations without cause. References to being outnumbered hint at power imbalance. These are precisely the moments when Section 43 and reasonable suspicion concerns become relevant.
Never seen so many place.
Over some altercation, I believe.
You know, kicking off.
Yeah, just get power crazy sometimes, don't they?
That's true. The drink before the match, that's the trouble, ain't it?
Yeah, but it's they've got to show the power, haven't they, the police?
Of course they have. I see more police around here than you do in the Midlands.
The problem is, though, people can't distinguish between banter
And normal.
these days.
Probably all young kids anyway, and it's long as time's all right. Well, they don't normally have trouble in this.
Further reflections on officer numbers highlight the increasingly common issue of show-of-force policing. Overstaffed responses can intimidate even compliant individuals. The filmer's perspective shows how everyday people often feel overshadowed by large-scale turnouts. Rights to record provide a crucial counterbalance.
So, very rare. Very rare.
Come to Stave is all right.
I meant in business, I think. Them lot come down now when they've done this truck squad down the road here.
As the scene winds down, it becomes clear that whatever prompted the response has been handled off-camera or resolved quietly. Yet the level of deployment remains unexplained. This lack of clarity is why public oversight is so important. Even uneventful endings tell a story about resource use and authority.